Multiversus, the Warner Brothers Smash clone, like however you want to call it, is shutting down after season 5. It's going to go into offline mode, so you can still play with the characters you purchased. But this is a weird one. This is the one that opened up as they called it like a beta, whatever, and they shut it down for a whole year and then brought it back. I don't know. This one's weird.
Wasn't there a Multiversus 2, or am I thinking of the Nickelodeon one?
That was all
Brawl Stars?
Something like that.
Yeah, All Stars. Yeah.
But that one wasn't like that was all the characters were already on the cartridge or disc, whatever. I think they might have had DLC, but they didn't do like a. At least I don't think they did like a live servicey kind of thing for that game. I think it was just like a Smash Brothers is.
I think that's how it should be, right? Like these types of games are meant to be more party game focused than like competitive. And like even with competitive fighting games like this, like none of them are really live service. Like you look at Street Fighter and Tekken, I think those have DLC, which people look forward to, and it's paid DLC.
Yeah,
but none of them are
Mortal
free
Kombat.
to play.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This is just such a weird premise that I think got caught up in like all of the free to play chasing stuff that happened in like 2023, 2022, and kind of came back to bite them a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Warner Brothers, they don't have a good track record right now. I mean, with kind of botching like the Arkham universe, with Suicide Squad and Arkham. What was the other one? Arkham Knights.
Oh,
that co-op game.
Yeah.
Which that one wasn't live servicey, but it had, I don't know, it was a weird one. I don't think it was received very well. But obviously like just botching Suicide Squad, just awful. So yeah, I think we talked about it last week with PlayStation. I think the industry is maybe course correcting itself a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't think we're going to see a ton of these types of games anymore. I think the live service, the games that were big, when live service started happening, are still the big ones now. And I don't see anything like. I really don't. I mean, there's gonna be a couple outliers like Marvel Rivals, but obviously that has the backing of Marvel. You have that IP, and people are already very familiar with that. But introducing new characters that people don't really care about, either if you're, something like Concord or even Multiversus, like that has a ton of different IPs that Warner Brothers had, but I just don't think that game was very good. So,
yeah, it was a lot different back in like the 2016 era when Overwatch was coming out, and these IP.
You paid $60 for that back in the day.
Yeah, it might have been 40. Or no, yeah,
maybe it was. I feel like I paid 60 for that game, but like that also wasn't like they didn't really have a lot of live service stuff. I know they had like the packs you could open up, but like Halo 5 Guardians was doing that with like kind of that stuff. So there was like that was like the big thing back then was opening up skins. But they didn't really have like a live service model. At least at first. Yeah. I think it became that once it went free to play, and then that model shifted. But that was kind of like the end of the era of those types of games. But
and back then people were more open to non-IP new characters, but
that was also Blizzard too. Like they were, for a while, Blizzard didn't really make a bad game. And still don't necessarily. I know a lot of people didn't like Overwatch 2, especially because I think it went from like 5 players or 6 players, and they shrunk it down by 1. So it like a lot of
kind of ruined the dynamics.
Yeah, a lot of the esports teams lost. They lost a player because of that game. So I don't know. Again, I think the industry is kind of shifting now. PlayStation's obviously, course correcting a little bit because of how much money they've spent on all this stuff, and none of it's really panned out. So,
yeah, I think it's a good thing. Just get out of that very crowded space and focus on making good,
Yeah.
you know, good either single player games or, multiplayer games that aren't live service and are more so focused around fun and not, draining someone's wallet. So I think we're on a good course now.
Yeah. I mean,
More
look at Doom, the Dark Ages. They don't have multiplayer at all, and Eternal
Yeah.
did. And they're just like, yeah, this is not
Yeah.
what people come. I mean, Doom used to be like the big multiplayer back in the day on PC and stuff, and that's just not the case anymore. So I think it just makes sense to, instead of splitting the team up to do multiplayer and do like just focus everybody on making the single player as good as possible. I know
Mhm.
Multiversus didn't have a single player game or campaign or anything like that, but yeah, I think that's it's tough. It's definitely tough. I would not want to be in some of these developers' shoes.
No. Tough time. Very tough time.